Alright, folks, so I am not in any way diminishing the glory of this revelation that Father is declared mathematically through all the universe and all the Bible from start to finish. And I was getting revelations while reading Exodus of how Father takes the glory for every single major word, and particularly last words in the Bible. And once your eyes are open to it, it's amazing. And you will see that the entire Scripture, from start to finish, is mathematically, in all the words, by God's sovereignty, above all names, it is pointing to this one name, Father, which is plus one over a multiple of 3. And this is research in motion. I'm just going to point out all, like as we read through Exodus together, and particularly when God speaks, all the words that are plus one that God ordained for Father. And it's mind-blowing, you know. Joseph, Father. Egypt, Father. Joseph equals Egypt, equals number. But it's all very glaring. And why does the Bible say the children of Israel over and over and over again? Well, because every word is Father. Children equals Joseph, equals Egypt, equals number. Father, plus one. Israel, plus one. Father. Okay, so now you just scoop up the gold as fast as you can, and it's just plain ridiculous. So, like the word Egyptians, or sorry, it's based on Egypt, right? But so I was picking up from the life of Moses and the burning bush, where God is speaking, and basically every major word glorifies Father mathematically, and it's typically the last word. So, and the first word, like always the first word and the last word mathematically is plus one to point to Father, like a land flowing with milk and honey. Father. Land. Father. Egypt. Father. Jacob. Father. The key items in this story that God uses. Oh, Moses has a rod. Oh, the rod. Father. It turns into a serpent. Father. Generations. Father. Like I was just going through all the last words in every sentence that God has recorded. Jacob, of the 3 patriarchs. God even quotes, Moses says, what is your name? The word them is so common for Father. And is the most common word that starts every sentence, is just Father. And God, in confessing his name, first says, I am that I am, which is easy to solve for Father. And then he instantly goes into suggestiveness of Father when he talks about the children of Israel. And now he says, I am the Lord God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and then Jacob's the last one, which is Father. The 3 knit together to divide by 3 for the Trinity, but the last is Jacob, Father. Has sent me unto you, Father, unto Father. This is my name for my memorial to all generations, Father, Father. So all the key words and the last words are always plus one. When you divide by 3, the remainder is 1 to glorify Father, which is the same design. And this gets crazy when you start studying the plagues of Egypt and realizing that all the crazy things that God was doing, he was doing mathematically. Like now here we are thousands of years later, and we're doing the math on the words of all the plagues and stuff, and it's all pointing to Father. Like the death of the firstborn. Well, firstborn, Father. Darkness, Father. Pharaoh, Father. The Father is doing his pleasure in all this, and the famous phrase, let my people go. Like famous phrases that are repeated over and over again. Let my people go. Let, plus one, Father. And then this is 2, and this is 3. So you got this 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then go. Plus one, Father. And a very special one, offsets of 6. So altogether it's plus one from Father, and it's gorgeous. It's 166, which is perfectly Father plus worship, love plus love. Worship Father. Let my people go. And that was really why he wanted them to be let go. Worship Father. It's amazing how it all glorifies Father, mathematically. And that's the key. You have to enter Gematria in order to unlock all of this perfection and all of this glory for this one name, Father. But then it just becomes so clear to you why God does everything, and things that you thought were strange. Like, really, why did God tell them to do that? And why is he repeating certain statements over and over and over again? Well, focus on the repeated words and you'll get the math. By a mighty hand. Well, Father. And then the word and. God, like if I was to do a search for the word and in all this, there's so many ands. Well, for the glory of the Father, +1. This is so Egypt, Father, go, Father, you, Father, let, Father. Okay, so but we're gonna get to some more, even more cool things in a moment. Put them on your sons, daughters, Father, Father. All right. So let's keep going. So here, the rod of Moses. God says, what is that in your hand? Well, God ordained him to have some. It's a rod or a staff. Rod and staff are both Father. You could also call it a walking stick, which would be Father. And then God, when God speaks, study the words. The first word out of his mouth, what? Father, is, Father, that, Father. Thine. In thine, excuse me, Father. Cast, Father, ground, Father. It's so glaring. And then this makes 3s. And, Father, he, Father, cast, Father. I could also be saying +1. Divide the word by 3, it gives you +1 to glorify Father. And he cast it on the ground, Father. And it became what? It became a serpent, Father. It became a serpent. So a rod, +1, Father, becomes a serpent, +1, Father. To the glory of God the Father. And that happened when it was cast on the ground, Father, Father. Getting it? Yeah. Now you understand all the strange things that God decided to do. It was a rod. Then it became a serpent. Perfect. But it's all for the Father. Okay. And now God makes it really clear to us because he keeps talking about himself being the Lord God of their fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And God saves the best for last. Best and last are king words that point to Father. Okay, and so Jacob is last, just like his other name, Israel, are both +1 Father. And then Abraham was +2, Isaac divides by 3, so the 3 of them knit together for the Trinity. But Father takes the last word. Okay, the word bosom, Father. Another word that comes to mind that we say today for bosom is chest. Chest, bosom, both Father. Into his bosom he took it out, behold, it was leprous as snow. Even leprous is Father. So pretty obvious, bosom, Father, ground, Father. This is going to really blow your mind now. Pick up this verse here. Exodus 4, and this is so amazing. Now you'll get all these famous phrases that you never knew why they were so repeated. And it came to pass. Well, pass, Father, the last word, 3 points less than Father, very obvious. And then if you say came to pass or shall come to pass, you just do the math on it, scoop up more fathers, it's glaring. And look at all the ands. Look how every single verse starts with and +1, Father, or now +1, Father, and, Father, 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 or so, Father. Then is like one of the ones that doesn't, but it's like and. Father, 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 Father. Or now, Father. Okay, but let's get to some more like specific words in this story. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe thee, nor hearken to the voice of the, this is so amazing, of the first sign. Okay, so sign is Father. Now this will really blow your mind. Then they will believe the voice of the latter sign. Well, this parallels the first and the last, where the word latter is plus one Father, first is not. Okay, so latter is actually superior. The latter sign. Okay, and God is saying here that the latter sign is actually more dramatic and is therefore greater than the first sign. That's what God is saying here. Okay, the first sign was just turning a rod into a snake. The second time was like, oh, his hand became diseased and it was instantly healed. That's pretty amazing. But God is saying if they don't hear the voice of the first sign, they will believe the voice of the latter sign. So he's saying the latter sign is greater. Latter, Father. Sign, Father. Gorgeous. Okay. And it shall come to pass, Father, and the whole thing is a gorgeous set of plus ones that makes an ultimate offset of plus one. It is so beautiful. It goes 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. If they will not believe also these two signs, why is there two signs? Well, because the word two equals Father. Also these two signs, neither hearken unto thy voice. Thou shalt take of the water, Father, of the river. Now that river might have been the Nile, which is Father, and pour it onto the dry land, Father, and the water which thou takest of the river shall become blood on the dry land. Eloquent is Father. That's good. Slow tongue, Father. You get the idea. This is a fascinating combo. And it'll all divide by 3. That's amazing to me. Even this combo of words. Who maketh the dumb that can't speak, the deaf that can't hear? These are both plus ones. That suggests to me that the spoken word is so powerful and it's so kingly and father-like. You know, people who are the father personality, they can't shut up. They love to talk because they're natural leaders. So I love to teach like this. I love to just keep speaking my mind because I want to teach. I want to lead. Dumb, deaf. So those are plus one. And then seeing and blind are plus 2. That suggests to me, because plus ones are Father, that losing your voice or not being able to hear with your ears, the spoken voice, is potentially even worse than not having your eyesight. But that's amazing. So now you see the obvious combo, though. God doesn't make any mistakes. So check his homework when you do your Bible. Here, seeing, blind. So all these will knit together to make a beautiful 3 fest. Very beautiful. Very obvious too. The hopscotch effect and the slice and half effect, you're the same teams. That's extremely cool. You can even knit the first 2 together. Or the interior 2, 75, and then dumb plus blind. 81, 3 times 3 times, that's glaring in 9 letters, 21 strokes. Both are very exceptional. What happens if you go this route? 99 between those 2, and then what happens if you go this route? 57. Cool. Okay. But the word speak, and the word eloquent, and the word dumb are also Father. Now therefore, go. Isn't that amazing? 3 plus 1s. Plus 1, Father. Plus 1, Father. Plus 1, Father. It's God the Father talking to a man who is going to be a father of a nation. And so it's amazing, all these powerful Father words. +1, now. Live in the now. Like right now is my sovereign plan for your life. Don't doubt it. Don't doubt what has happened. Be in the present. Now, Father. Therefore, Father. We could preach an entire sermon on philosophy. Therefore, go. Just 3 huge Father words. +1, +1, +1 that make a beautiful 3-fest. For the Trinity, and I will be with thy mouth and teach, Father, thee what thou shalt say. And now you're really slowing down for all this. And he said, "O my Lord, send, I pray thee, by the hand of him." And the anger will. And now he grabs Aaron, which is Father, which is amazing. Amazing. Aaron and Levite are both Father. Levite is amazing for Father. I never saw it so. This is amazing. I have very often felt like a Levite because I abstain from so many material pursuits, and I live a very simple, studious life of God and prayer and theology. So Levite, amazing. A Levite equals 73, perfect design for Father. In 6 letters and 15 strokes. That is absolutely flawless, Levite. A Levite. Flawless for Father. 3 + 2 is a single +1, 2 letters divided. That is flawless for Father. Is not Aaron the Levite thy brother? He can speak well. Speak and well, Father, Father. In fact, speak equals well. Behold, okay? So here's a perfect example of the last word always being Father. Well, speak well, period. First word, +1. Behold, +1. He, +1. Last word, heart, +1, Father. And like the word and, very often. And he, +1. Like this is so dripping with Father. It's crazy. And thou shalt speak unto him and put words, Father, in his mouth, and I will be. Mouth is Christ, and equals power, and with his mouth, and will teach you what you shall do, Father. He shall be thy spokesman. Okay. And the rod, okay. Ha! Oh man, and then Moses, this is embarrassing. And then Moses' father's name is Jethro, which is 3 + 2 is a single +1, and then 2 letters that divide by 3, and 6 letters, 15 strokes. That's incredible. That is mind-blowing. Jethro, that is insane. Like that is exactly 3 points higher than Levite. 6 letters, 15 strokes. Same design. 3 + 2 is a single +1, and the other letters divide by 3. I'm like, folks, this is it. This is the revelation. Here you go. It's the entire Bible from start to finish is Father, Father, Father. The entire Bible is mathematically, using gematria, pointing to the name above all names, Father, Father, Father. And then Jesus is like the climax in the symphony, and he uses the word Father explicitly, like no one else up until then. But it's all here in secret in gematria. Okay, and then Moses went and returned to Jethro, his father-in-law, and said, "Let me go, Father, Father." Okay, so Egypt, Father, Jethro. Okay, and then Moses parallels Jesus. So put Jethro plus Moses together, and it's very gorgeous, happy 3-fest. And the Lord said to Moses, Midian. Wonderful. Now, so here we go. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord. Now, this is a beautiful Trinity glorifying experience that adds 9 times the 9th prime. But the famous last word is +1, Father. Who is the Lord? Well, the Father. So it literally, it's very obvious. There's a 2, there's a 3, and then the Lord. The Lord is flawless for Father. I've talked about this before. where you, again, the letters the Lord, you have 3 plus 2's, a single plus 1, and the rest of the letters divide by 3. Okay. For those just joining us, a plus 2, the value of the letter is, when you divide it by 3, remainder 2. So T is 20th letter, divide 20 by 3, you get remainder 2. Or simply put, it's 2 points higher than 18. Very simple. Okay, so that is identical with what God ordained in the name above all names, Father. Okay, let's keep going. Excuse me. There we go. So, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. This is amazing mathematical English. Look at all this. That will yield a grand plus 1 offset, as will this. And that is amazing. Thus saith Israel, plus 1. And then this is a plus 1, plus 2, 3 combo. Gorgeous. And then even is plus 1. And then, oh, it's so beautiful. So the grand statement is, okay, and thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, Father, and I say unto thee, let my son go, that he may serve me. This is amazing. Even Moses, his wife, Zipporah, is father. And so the two of them knit together to make a 3. Now her name, paralleling mother, is plus 30 exactly, which is cool. Okay. Kiss, father. Kissed him, father. Okay, children of Israel, okay. Worshipped, father. Bowed, father. Heads, father. And father. Children of Israel, father. Father, visit. Ooh, visit, father. And of course the Lord, Father. Now you know why. Like, people always complain about, oh, the translation of the Lord. Well, God is sovereign over that. The Lord, mathematically, declares Father. And then when you add God in here, this is so cool. Then you get a Trinity glorifying experience with 3 words that are 1, 2, 3 that add perfectly the double love. And then if you jack it up with of Israel, then you get the Israel plus 1 for Father, and the grand offset is plus 1 Father. So of course Moses plus Aaron is a gorgeous 120, and told Pharaoh, Father. But I marvel at how Aaron, it gets the Father offset. Okay, thus says the Lord God, let my people go. They may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness, and who is the Lord? I shall. Hebrew father. Okay. So it's amazing that Hebrew is father and Egyptian is father. It's just like every single part of this story is screaming with Father. Okay. I like it when God speaks, of course. So I want to get into some of the plagues, because you already know how it works, but I'm curious about some of the specific plagues, just to get some specific words now. Them is a huge word God uses everywhere. Okay, so I'm like, covenant, father, let's keep going. Canaan, father. Strangers, father. Pilgrimage, father. You get the idea. Okay, I'm groaning children, groaning, father. Even bondage, father. Or no, that divides by 3, sorry. Remembers, father. Okay, let's just keep going. Lord, bring on. I want to get some specific. I want to get to the plagues here. And the unleavened bread. This is cool because the ages of the two of them combined is 163, 1 over triple love, plus 1, very obvious, plus 1 there. So we did the serpent one. I want to get to the stronger miracles. Okay, so frog. Father. I will smite. It starts to get really funny once you know that God is glorifying the name Father. You're like, he's using frogs. So frog is an obvious one. Servants, Father. So frog is an obvious thing. I think you can even solve a stream. It's amazing how God chooses like the smallest thing to be Father, like a pond and a stream. Plus 1, plus 1. River divides by 3, but a pond is very humble, just like it. So frog, okay, that was pretty obvious. So what else? Heaps, Father. So lice. Now dust is Father, just like land. Dust and lice. Well, maybe you have to add these up, because now you start adding things together. Like lice plus frog is an obvious combo, because the first 3 letters of both words divide by 3, and then the last 2 knit together to make a multiple of 3. Very obvious, just like Adam plus Eve. 1 plus 2. There it is. Beautiful 3s. Obvious combo. Okay, so water, flies, and then flies divides by 3, which is interesting. But a single fly is Father, just like frog. Very similar to frog, where these are divided by 3 and plus 1 in the end. So, in fact, they differ by 3. I'd say that's very obvious for Father, frog, and fly. And you have to marvel, friends, that these are some of the humblest creatures on planet Earth, like frogs. Like, it's almost funny. Like, a frog is so innocent, so cute, so unassuming. Like, the Egyptians might have had one, like, I don't know, a pet frog. Like, it's so humble. And then flies. A fly. But there's just tons of them. Like, it's just really quite interesting. Alright, so what comes next? So flies, we're just poking around looking for Father here. Now I know cattle is Father. A lot of these divide by 3. I know camel. Oxen equals Father. That's interesting. Differs from 3 by cattle. And you'd have to knit all these other players together. Like, I'm sure with a little adding there, you saw the cattle. Well, the word cattle is perfectly Father. Perfect in its design. That's an easy one. So it's between Egypt and Israel. Father, Father. But it's all God the Father glorifying it, not one. Famous words like but and not. Father, Father. But not one Father. And but. You know, it's just like Father, Father. Not one. Father, Father. Cattle, huge word for Father. Heart, Father. Heart, Father. It just keeps getting crazier and crazier. And then go. It's all about letting the people go. Father. And the Lord said unto Moses and unto Aaron. Isn't it amazing how Aaron's name comes last, but Aaron is Father? So cool. Take to you handfuls of ashes, the last shall be first. Ashes now. Ashes, Father. A single ash is Father. That's like amazing, because ash is the famous 28. This is going to blow your mind. Like how God says, take ashes for the glory of the Father. Well, look at this. Like ash, a single ash, is the dead center of Father, because an A plus an S equals a T in the most obvious way to make T, 1 plus 19, and then an H equals an H, and then this ES equals 24, which is the bookends of Father. It's glaring how a single ash, or ashes, declares the Father. like ashes. He sat in dust and ashes. Dust, Father. Ashes, Father. And very gorgeous offsets because they're even numbers. This is -6, this is +6. That's glaring. He sat down in dust and ashes. Well, to the glory of the Father he did so. Are you just getting amazed at how some of the humblest items and the smallest things on earth are declaring the name of the greatest of all, the Father? I feel led to mention the word insect is Father, and the word beetle is Father. You know? Dust and ashes. There it is. Hey, caramba. What else is God gonna use for the glory of the Father that's humble? So it's amazing. The word take, Father, like every major word. If you were to remove all the +1 words from this story, you would be left with so little. Because the Father is mathematically king, like +1, plus unto. The famous word unto is flawless because the NT hook up with the TH at the center of Father, and then the 36's flicking unto and unto Aaron. Take to you handfuls. Well, handfuls, Father. Handfuls of ashes, Father. Let Moses sprinkle it toward the heaven, Father, in the sight of Pharaoh, Father. And it shall become small dust. Ah, there it is. The ashes became dust. Specifically small dust, which maintains the opposite. And all the land of Egypt shall be of oil breaking forth in plains. I have no idea what plains is, one beast. Disturbingly, even magicians is Father, just like angels and demons. Like it's like God has used everything for His glory. Like God even said of Pharaoh, "For this reason I have raised you up, that I may show my power in you." You can draw your own conclusions, but angels, you can think about this yourself. I'm not saying anything in particular, but how would Jesus have cast out devils unless there were devils? I'm here to point out some interesting things that both angels and demons are very similar in their design, the words. Rise up early. Very strong words. Oh yeah, that's one of my... Rise up early in the morning. Oh man, a Father statement there. And stand. This is so cool. That thou mayest know. This is a good combo. That's gorgeous. That thou mayest know, +1. That there is none like me. I knew that was going to be Father. In all the earth. Wow. Gorgeous +1 verbiage. And you can just go higher and further. For now I will stretch out my hand. That's a gorgeous. That's amazing. And once you get fast at this, you can see the +1s knitting together with the 2s, and it stacks. into more Father glorifying verbiage, and you can even start to see the letters of Father. Like now that you have the F at the front here, you've got the letters of Father in this statement. That I may smite thee and thy people with pestilence, and thou shalt be cut off from the earth. But the last word, look at the last word is the earth. The earth, Father, Father. Like start with the obvious and then increase your skill level. And I've raised thee up. This is that, and for this very deed, I've raised thee up for to show my power, and that my name, the Father, what is his name? Well, Father. Jesus told us God's name ultimately is Father. And that my name, the Father of the Trinity, and that my name may be declared Father throughout all the earth. It's cool, okay. Behold, Father. Okay, so hail divides by 3, it's interesting. Servants and cattle. Hail divides by 3. Just like thunder. In fact, that's amazing because hail is 30, thunder is 90. Alright. We're getting close. And then Passover, and then there's so many other plus ones like Passover and Lamb and... Okay. Oh, now the locust. All right, so you get the idea. God uses all of these words that have a remainder of +1 to point to the sacred name Father, and it gets really mind-blowing. Like I want to get to the Feast of Unleavened Bread, like with the Passover, because that'll give you understanding of the numbers. So this is where God declares the first of the year. And all these +1s in here, the word lamb, the word month, the word year, of course, Father, Father, Father. A lamb of the first year. It had to be 1 year old. Why? Because the number 1 is the first one, +1, Father. But then God starts laying out 7s here, because 7, the number 7 is +1. That's why, the reason there are so many 7s in the Bible is because 7 is +1. +1/6, which is Father. Okay? Every 7 in the Bible exists for the glory of the sacred name Father. The name above all names, which Jesus told us to pray to day and night, Father. Okay, so that's, whenever you see a 7 in the Bible, think to yourself, Father, and then dig around for a little gold. So if I do a quick word search for 7, here we go. 7 days you shall eat what? Unleavened bread. Well, unleavened is +1 Father, and gorgeously, because the two ends, the 2 + 2s, equal the center of Father, and then you get gorgeous 27s and love combo and 3s all around it, and then bread divides by 3, so unleavened bread, Father. 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread for the Father. For 7 days, +1, 7 for the Father. And now it's called the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which maintains the Father offset. In fact, that is amazingly holy, holy, holy. The Feast of Unleavened Bread is Father plus holy, holy, holy. And when you say the Feast of Unleavened Bread, you now have all the letters that you need to spell Father perfectly. F-A-T-E-H-R. Like practically right out of the gate. Then you just need the R right from here. The feast. Now you know why there's so many feasts, and it's spelled that way. The feast. In the letters, the feast, you have Father almost completely, then you just need an R. Okay? So the Feast of Unleavened Bread completes the puzzle perfectly. And ye shall observe the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Why? For who? Who is this for? Who is in charge here? Why is it called the Feast of Unleavened Bread? Why are we doing this, God? It's because God is Father. And do the math on the name of this item in the history books. The Feast of Unleavened Bread points mathematically to Father. And Jesus came to tell us about the Father and to show us the Father. He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. So the Father is the goal. So that's what we're finding in all the history books everywhere. The Feast of, so there you go. So generations, Father, ordinance forever, and you can solve more of that. And so now whenever you see sevens, that's what God is up to. +1 over the nearest multiple of 3, 6, Father. And then this is confirmed, unleavened, just like no leaven, Father. No leaven is 88, just like Walmart, king for Walmart, king for Father, excuse me. So now you know why, like unleavened bread. You're just like, well, why unleavened bread? What does that mean to me, God? Like, what do I care about unleavened bread? Well, unleavened bread is a mathematical, perfect set of letters, like everything, to glorify Father. Call upon the Father tonight. And use that specific name, Father. Oh, the elders of Israel. Well, Israel, Father. So Lamb is Father. Passover is Father. And then hyssop divides by 3. You can knit it together with all sorts of stuff, but and then firstborn, Father, cattle, Father. So you get the idea. And it just keeps like I was just looking at the last words of like every verse, and I was like, Father, children, Father, cattle, Father, victual, Father. And just this gets really amazing. The sojourning of the children of Israel who dwelt in Egypt was 430 years. Well, why was it 430 years? Because 430 is a +1 number, which glorifies Father. Father, when you divide by 3, is remainder 1. 430, when you divide by 3, is remainder 1. That's mind-blowing. That's a 430-year gem to make one number to glorify God the Father. Like, that's how great the Father is. Like, a whole ton of people were in Egypt for 430 years to create one number for the glory of the Father. That's amazing. But it's obvious that God was in charge of this, because at the very day they came forth. Generations, all this. Passover. Okay. And then you can keep going. So I would and focus on whenever God speaks. Unleavened bread, 7 days. Okay. And so now you know why the word Egypt is in the Bible so much. Well, it's because Egypt is flawless for Father. And same thing with the word Pharaoh. And all the rest of it, firstborn, and simple words like them and pass. And oh, here it is. And it came to pass. You'll love this. Came is +1 Father. Pass is +1 Father. And very beautiful because they're 22:55. And then here's a +2 in between. And here's a +2 in between. And then here's your +1 in front. So there goes 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Well, a 1, 2, 3. A 1, 2, 3. So all this, 3. But now, the best part of all, now you're +1 for Father. And it came to pass. Bang. Father, gorgeously. Gorgeous. And it came to pass. That is exactly 102 points over Father. The first 3-digit number divides by 3, and that's accomplished in 15 letters and 33 strokes, just like Father, the letters and strokes divide by 3. Now you know why your Bible says so often. And it came to pass. And it came to pass. And it came to pass. That is written exactly to mathematically point to Father. And then Egypt, over and over again. The last word is Egypt. Land, Father, Father. The promised land, Father. The Red Sea, oh, Father. There's a famous one. The parting of the Red Sea, Father. Part, Father. Sea, Father. Rod, staff, Father, Father. God will surely visit, Father. You, Father. Bones. This is so funny. The bones of Joseph. it starts to get funny how all this is ordained. Like Joseph prophesied that his bones would get carried. Well, Joseph is father, and bones are father. Like Joseph equals Egypt equals number, and they had to carry his bones for the glory of the Father. You're just like, this is crazy awesome. You start solving the place names, and it's pretty fast. Interestingly, the word cloud is father, and then that knits together with fire. Very obvious. Remember how previously up here, we knit together with frog, with lice to make obvious threes? Well, look, now cloud knits together with fire in the exact same design. Just glare it. Frog and lice knit together to make threes. Cloud and fire, the pillar of cloud, the pillar of fire, knit together to make threes. Gorgeous. Grand total of 93, 9 letters and 18 strokes. Well, which one is the +1 for father? Cloud. Cloud is the +1 for father. Isn't that amazing? The cloud. The one that led them by day was the cloud. All right? Okay. And by night was a pillar of fire. Cloud. Father. Why would cloud be father? It's a little bit softer. I don't know. It's a little bit more humble. You can start thinking yourself. I mean, there's more. Obviously, in our personal lives, we see clouds far more often than we see fire, and so did the majority of man through history. And clouds are in heaven. Or you can start thinking about that. Cloud is +1 fire. But what's curious to me is that then the word night in reverse equals father. Day divides by 3, so you knit day plus night together. It's so fascinating. So it's like God always. So day plus night is the other combo. That's the father offset total, right? All right. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, that's just crazy. It's so cool because spake is father, and the Lord spake will be pure threes, and then this is also pure threes. But point out the +1. In fact, that's a triple of 1, 2, 3. That grand. But point out the +1s. And the Lord spake unto. Literally every okay. So the Lord is the father. And Moses in this situation is the subordinate. God is declaring the Father's supremacy in all of these tales. The Lord mathematically parallels the Father. He talks to Moses, who is the subordinate one. So knit the two of them together. And by the way, the Lord, Moses, parallels Jesus flawlessly. The name Moses mathematically is, and it's designed for Jesus, 3 + 1, to ease